To grasp the essence of economic choices, it's vital to look beyond the fleeting ripples of a single decision and chart its full course, through time, across layers of impact, and into every corner of society. Focusing solely on one narrow slice, like a lone craft humming along, risks missing the vast fleet it sails among. This tunnel vision fuels many economic missteps, clouding not just the pleas of vested advocates, but even the musings of deep thinkers who ought to know better. Its root, this short-sightedness props up the creed of craft for need, not gain, which rails against the so-called greedy value web. The riddle of making things, its believers insist, is cracked wide open. Visionaries, tinkerers, and masters of method have unlocked the secrets, able to churn out wonders in endless heaps if only left to their devices. Yet, the reins lie not with these creators, dreaming of abundance, but with traders obsessed with their own haul. These merchants greenlight only what fills their coffers, halting the works when the shine of profit dims, even as clamors for more echo unanswered across a wanting world. This tale unravels under scrutiny, tangled in errors too, knotted to pull apart all at once. Its fatal flaw? Peering at one trade, or a handful, as if each stood alone, unmoored from the rest. In truth, every craft bobs in a sea of others, each choice rippling out to nudge or jostle the whole. Picture a lone wanderer stranded on a rugged shore, needs piling up like storm clouds. Rain lashes down, chills seep in, hunger gnaws. Shelter, warmth, a sip of fresh water, all tug at once. But time and strength are scarce. No one can tackle every craving in a single breath. The most pressing ache, say, a parched throat, demands first dibs. A hollow is scooped to catch drizzle, or a crude bowl shaped from what's at hand. Yet, with just a trickle secured, the growl of an empty belly calls next. A spear for fish might come to mind, but crafting it eats hours that could mend a leaky roof. Every move trades off against another, a ceaseless juggle of what's urgent versus what waits. Now scale that to a hardy clan washed ashore together. More mouths to fill, yes, but more hands to pitch in. One stalks game, another tends the fire, a third gathers roots. Specialization takes hold. Still, no one can hammer away at a single chore forever, blind to shifting tides of necessity. When kindling stacks high, piling more while water jars sit dry would be folly. All see it plain as day. Even here, growth in one task shrinks another. Balance reigns. Dismiss this as castaway logic at your peril. Those quickest to scoff often miss its beating heart, lost amid the dizzying sprawl of modern trade. In that sprawl, how does a buzzing hive of countless wants, from trinkets to bread, find its rhythm? Through the value web, a living tapestry of costs, offers, and returns, ever weaving and reweaving itself. Values emerge from the push and pull of plenty versus yearning. When a clamor rises for something, say, sturdy, lanterns, bids climb. Makers rake in more so they crank up the forge. Others, lured by the glow, pivot from weaving rugs to casting light. Supply swells, nudging the price back down until the lure fades, blending into the hum of other trades. Or perhaps the craze cools, or a flood of lanterns dims their worth. Then makers dial back, the less deft bowing out. This dance, not some rigid ledger of past toil, sets the tune. Costs shape supply, sure, but only as guesses of tomorrow's haul steer what's wrought today. Think of this web as a chorus of countless bells, each tuned by its own sway, yet ringing in harmony. Picture a windmill's blades, spinning wild until a clever catch reins them in. Too slow, they gape wider. Too fast, they pinch shut. So it goes with goods. A surge in want lifts their chime, swelling output till balance hums again. A fade in desire muffles the note, easing the pace. Critics who decry this as scarcity's song miss the melody. Why churn out lanterns by the mountain if pots, coats, or grain lie neglected? No one sane would hoard one bounty while others starve. In a steady flow, swelling one craft drains. Another, tools, hands, and ore are finite. When a trade wilts, it doesn't spell doom for all. It frees fuel for others to flare. Costs, at their core, are what's surrendered. Time, sweat, or timber, to birth something new. A thriving system lets fading crafts release their hold, feeding those on the rise. The value web alone untangles this knot, outpacing any council's clumsy charts. Each coin spent is a vote cast, not a dictate from above. Yet meddlers itch to tweak this dance, often for loud voices with narrow woes. What spills from their fixes comes later. Take schemes to hoist a good's worth beyond its natural sway. Say, wool. Champions swear they're not chasing endless highs, just a steady keel. Without aid, they warn, weavers unravel, looms fall. Silent, and a glut of scarcity looms, jacking costs skyward. Delay for the web to right itself? Too slow. Action must strike now. Loans prop up stashes, keeping bales off the market, pitched as a shield against wild dips. The story charms, harvests flood at once, prices crater, and sly hoarders scoop cheap to sell dear later. Why not let weavers hold the line? Theory and time debunk this. Hoarders aren't foes, they brace the blows of chance. The sharper their foresight, the smoother the ride. If wool poured out in one burst, they'd bid it up, leveling the year's arc. Data shows wool's worth holds steady, barring storage fees. Sometimes hoarders even prop weavers up, betting too rosy on tomorrow. State meddling shifts the game. Loans turn stashes into vote bait, prices pegged above the web's whisper. Buyers balk, piles grow, and next year's flood drowns the gain. History nods. Take silk. Stockpiles tanked its trade abroad. Swelling rival looms elsewhere. Caps on output often tag along, shrinking the pie. Consumers lose, paying more with less to spend elsewhere. Contrast the web's way. Low prices cull the weak, letting the deft expand. Output might hold, even drop in cost, leaving more coin for other wants. Jobs shift, not vanish. Forced caps prop up the shaky, hiking costs and wasting means. Subsidies or idle pay just shuffle wealth, not grow it. Less stuff, split thinner, drags all down. Now flip it. Pin prices low, like on flour, fish, or cloth, deemed life staples. The plea, free bids, favor the flush, not the needy. Cap costs and shares even out. Yet any price above zero still tilts by purse, only free cuts that cord. Pegging starts from a fair yesterday, blind to new wins. Demand swells as bargains beckon. Supply shrinks, makers bleed, the frailest fade. Shortages bloom, the very dread meant to die. To dodge this, controls spiral. Allotments ration shares, costs get caged from mill to boat, or handouts plug gaps. Each step chokes substitutes or spreads the net wider, till all bends to a rigid script. Hands and haul doled by decree, freedoms, echo lost. Early on, such clamps might gleam, especially in crisis, buoyed by fervor, but cracks widen with wear. Excess want outstrips stunted yield. Black trades sprout, easing hunger but fraying trust. Big players wilt, rogues rise, quality dips, and costs soar. Favoritism creeps in, lifting the loud, say toilers or growers, while others sag. The root? Mistaking dearness for dearth, or cash flood, not web's warp. Fixing forgets makers' stakes, just as hiking forgets buyers. Each soul wears many hats, crafter, payer, seeker, cheering boons for one, cursing curbs on another. Most bet they'll rig the game, but the tangle bleeds more than it bestows, stalling the engine of plenty.